Red Voice News, splashing the check-in. Thank you for tuning in. I have an article right here brought to you by FoxNews.com. Georgia mom fatally stabbed by son at Thanksgiving Day killing. And this is his mugshot right here. Boy, stop. Hey, hold on. A lot of black people are going to be looking at this like, hey, that's really not what we do. So something must have been wrong. Why was he a black male stabbing his mother, killing his mother? That's how a lot of people think. That's how I was thinking when I read this. But we got to get out of that, where we just stereotype certain crimes. You know, a crime is a crime. Now, sure, certain races of people commonly do certain crimes. Like, that's just their style. The criminals that are within that society. All right. Not to say that people of a certain race are criminals. No, the criminals within the society of that race, there's a style on how they commit certain crimes. And you don't commonly see this in black households. But this happened on Thanksgiving Day. And I wonder what happened. You know, were there other family members over at the house? Were they visiting some relatives? And he went with his mother. Because it sounded like, you know, he did this to his mother, but there wasn't a man in the household. You got to look at it like this. I mean, it's a different generation. You know, he was born in 2003. A Georgia mom was allegedly stabbed to death on Thanksgiving Day by her 18-year-old son, Varian Hibbert. The son was arrested at the scene. The Gwinnett Daily Post reported. So this at like the north side of Atlanta. His mother, Marcia Chance. So they have two different last names. You know, that's a huge red flag right there. I had a homeboy, like, I'm not going to say the last name, but his last name was different than his mother's last name. And I called her Miss and my homeboy's last name. I think at the time we were like 9 or 10 years old. And she was like, "What did you call me?" I said, "Miss Blank." She was like, "No, you can call me by Miss in my first name, young man." And at this time, I had already known her for a couple of years. But needless to say that my homeboy and his mother, my homeboy didn't have a relationship with his father. He's seen his father, he's met his father, but he didn't have a relationship with his father. So when you see that, a young male and his mother, you know, raised in a single mother household, and they have two different last names, I mean, you're already living in a state of confusion right there. That should tell you everything right there. The paper reported that the incident occurred shortly before noon, and officers responded to a domestic violence call. Hibbert was charged with a felony murder and other felonies. So what happened? I'm wondering, was it just him and his mother, or were there other relatives in the house? Were they in their own home, or were they at a relative's house? And let me tell you, when me and my mother, you know, years ago when I was much younger, living with my parents, my mother was the type to run her mouth when other family members was around. She would act totally different when other family members were around. And she always liked to kind of put me down in front of other family members. You know, when I was much younger, when I was a baby, I didn't even want to be in the same room with her when she's talking like that. You know, when she's trying to show out and act different in front of other family members. As I got older, even though I was still living in the same roof, it's like I didn't really take that. You know, okay, you my mother, but you still a female at the end of the day. Not to be misogynistic and say women are beneath me, but what I'm saying is like a lot of women, they react on emotion and say certain things, even if it's their child. It's like you're not even thinking straight when you're saying these things, knowing that, okay, this is your mother you're talking to. This is our cousin you're talking to. This is your brother, my uncle. This is your aunt, this is your sister, my aunt that you're talking to. Spreading our business and trying to paint me in a negative light. So even though I was young, I had to do my duty as a young man to try to really try to check that shit. Like, hey, don't, you know what I'm saying? But that's just looking back, you know, it didn't anger me to the point where I had to pull out a knife and do something to my mother. No. But I don't know. I mean, he born in 2003, totally different generation, you know, and I have my father right there. So he didn't have his father there. And I don't know if they were in the house by themselves or with family members, like I said. Okay, but it's a sad situation. Seemed like he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison or a very long time. He's not going to come out until he's an old man. Probably still a virgin. Who knows? You know, I heard a Philly cat, the Philly goon rapper A.R.Ab say that. He was like, man, you got guys who they're committing these heinous crimes at a young age and they never even had sex before and they end up in prison for the rest of their life. And he was like, it's sad to see that. I mean, you're not even old enough to go out to the bar and buy your first drink or, you know, get a job, build a family, buy a home. It's sad, man. I'm over and I'm out. Like, subscribe, comment, share this video. Peace.